What is up, everybody? In this video, I'm going to be answering some of your guys' questions that you put in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, join it. It's in the description. It's free. Bunch of Polymarket traders. There's like 2,000 of us in here now. We talk about a bunch of different stuff. Occasionally, I'll give you free call outs, like a free bond. But if you're just getting started with Polymarket or you're already been trading for a while now, go join it. It should be helpful. It's a nice little community. But I'm going to answer some of these questions. And yeah, let's just get started. Okay, isn't it suspicious to use a VPN on Polymarket? How did you originally learn prediction market arbitrage? Okay, so the first question, isn't it suspicious to use a VPN on Polymarket? So what he is referencing here is in the United States, it's not allowed to use Polymarket on the website. They do have the app where you can sign up and be a waitlist on the app, or you could get an invite code for the app, and the app is only sports only. But if you use a VPN and you put your VPN in somewhere that's available, like Netherlands, Ireland, Mexico, I don't know, Canada, some parts of Canada, then you can trade on Polymarket. Now, is this suspicious? Is it against their terms? Yes, it is against their terms. But I'm sure Polymarket doesn't mind if you're bringing them more volume and more money, just from a logical standpoint. So I'm sure they know if you're using a VPN, but don't break their terms. I'm not telling you to use a VPN and go around their terms of service. If you don't want to do that, and if you don't want to deal with that because you're afraid of it's being suspicious, then just use Kalshi. Kalshi and Polymarket, it's the same thing, okay? How did you originally learn prediction market arbitrage? So this one, arbitrage has existed for literally like hundreds of years, if not longer than that. Prediction market, it's just arbitrage, but applying to prediction markets. A lot of people don't understand what arbitrage is. I made a lot of TikToks on this. I'll just reiterate for you. If you buy yes on one market on one side and you buy no on the other, as long as the combined cost of yes and no equal less than $1, then you're guaranteed profit no matter the outcome. So never at one point on any market is yes and no less than $1 on the same market. So occasionally you'll have to buy yes on one market, on the same market, on Polymarket, and buy no on Kalshi. A lot of times there can be misprices between different exchange platforms, different prediction market platforms. So if you buy yes on Polymarket, no on Kalshi, then there could be arbitrage opportunities there. Let me give you an example. Okay, we have this example right here. New arbitrage and prediction markets, how many Fed rate cuts in 2026? So if you buy yes on Polymarket for 27 cents and you buy no on opinion for 67 cents, because 67 and 27 equal 94, you're going to make 6 cents profit for each share that you own. Now, opinion, this is similar to Polymarket, similar to Kalshi. It's just a lot smaller, but it's still a prediction market platform. But this applies to any of the prediction markets. Now, this is reliant on if the rules are the same for the platforms and if it's in the same market, which the 75 basis points is probably has the same rules. But this is also limited on how many shares you can buy. Let's say you spend $1,000 to buy no here. All of a sudden, you shot the price up to 70 cents for no, and you're gonna change the price as you buy it, as you take away the asks from some of the people. So that is a little bit about what arbitrage is. Next question. What is a free bond and what does that mean? Okay, I put these in here just so that, because I was thinking of something. So what is a free bond? A free bond, it's just like a free call out. When I say a free bond, like I gave someone a free bond. Hey, free bond. It's just a call out. And people don't even know what a bond is. So a bond is, it's in prediction market terms, it's similar to just what a bond is in real life, okay? Not the most gains, but basically pretty consistent, pretty steady, safe investment. So a lot of times in this scenario for prediction markets, a bond is anywhere from like 95 to 100 cents. The safest bonds are like 99.9 cents after the tick size changes to 0.0001. But let me give you an example of a user on Polymarket who makes money from bonding. Okay, we have this user right here. This user makes, I'm going to move my webcam. They're up $30,000 from the month just from bonding. Okay, they're up $500,000 all time. And if you'll notice, look at their average price, 99.9 cents, 96, 99, 99, 99, 99. they place trades and stuff that has already happened or is already guaranteed. And so, look, this just rounds. So this is like 99.9 cents because it's the 1 hour market, and the 1 hour market tick size changes more frequently. But they just buy bonds, and they have a big bankroll. Like their position value right now is $144,000 in all these different positions. But what I'm getting at is bonds, if you have a high bankroll, you can make a lot of money as long as you are smart and you don't enter dumb markets or markets that can change. For example, let's look at the month. See, he lost here for some trade and he lost a lot of money. He lost a lot of his gains. Look, and then you guys got to slowly ramp it back up. But yeah, that's an example of someone who makes money with bonds. Okay, next question. I'm in USA. Can I use Polymarket? Again, I sort of talked about this with the VPN. Technically, no, not on the website. There's workarounds. If you don't want to do that, just use Kalshi. But what is arbitrage? I tried to arbitrage on Kalshi, but I lost money. So I already explained what arbitrage is, but this part, I arbitraged on Kalshi, but I lost money. Someone said this earlier in the Discord channel. They go, hey, I arbitraged, but I lost money. It's because Kalshi has fees. So when you are arbitraging, when you are looking at the cost for both yes and no, you have to take in consideration the fees that Kalshi has. Polymarket doesn't really have any fees right now, but you have to take into consideration Kalshi's taker or maker fees. Okay. Next question. Best bots to gain a speed edge. So this is a very good question. You know, a lot of people, when they get into prediction markets, they're sort of starstruck by the amount of people that use bots and people that have bots. And if that's you, don't worry about it. Don't get too confused, okay? A lot of people don't deal with that, and that's fine, okay? There are a lot of different bots for different things, okay? For example, I made a Telegram bot that sends me alerts when something happens, okay? There's a bunch of different bots publicly, but there's also bots that you can make. This question is asking the best bots to gain its speed edge. The best bots, it's not public. You have to make the bots, which I'm not going to go into. But if it's public and everyone has access to the bot, then it's probably not the biggest edge, right? But let me give you an example of like different tools. Like depends on what you want to do. There's like, here's a website, Mention Matrix. Okay, you can see how many times like Trump says a certain word in past speeches and stuff. There's different tools as you research and as you learn more about prediction markets. I'm not going to give you those here because that's part of the edge. You need to figure that out. You need to be above the curve, and you need to be better than everyone else by doing more research. So you guys, and now I'm not sponsored by these people, whatever, but you guys got to do your research and try to determine what can best make you money, okay? Okay, next question. Hi, what are the best strategies to make use of the maker rebates, and which traders/wallets run them successfully? So let me show you. So let's go to the rewards. Now these are rewards for market makers that Polymarket gives out to incentivize a closer spread. Because a small spread, like 1 cent, that means someone is trying to sell for 55 cents and someone is trying to buy for 53 cents. There's a 1 cent spread in the middle of that. The smaller the spread, the better. Because if you have a 50-point spread where someone is trying to sell for 90 cents and someone's trying to bid at 9 cents, a big spread, it's not efficient for actual good prediction market. So Polymarket pays people to sort of be a market maker and and place limit orders in between the spread there. I don't deal with this. I know some people, their entire strategy is these rewards. Now this user specifically said maker rebates. Now he's referring to the crypto markets. So if we look at the crypto markets here, you can see maker rebates. So Polymarket recently introduced taker fees and maker rebates. Now this is forever ever changing. So if you're watching this a week after I upload this video, then it's probably changed a little bit. But they introduced fees for takers, and they incentivized makers to help stop takers from taking advantage of their edge. So they added like a 500 millisecond delay for takers, and then they increased the fees to. There's a diagram for what the fees are for the takers for these markets, for how many shares, and if you're buying on in the middle or you're buying on one of the extremes. I know this is sounding a little bit complicated, but in order to farm this effectively, it's not something I would look at right now for anyone. It's a little too complicated. It's a little too, out there. I would just focus on making money from the actual markets and the actual positions that you're entering. Though if you want to look at reward farming, which is what they call that, reward farming, then go look at that. Okay, next question. Any tips for calming nerves when first starting out, especially in geopolitics? I'm not trying to go bald by 30. Well, look, if you're placing trades, if you're spending money that you can't afford to lose, you're going to be nervous, okay? Which is why when a lot of people sports gamble, which is gambling for sports, when the teams are going at it and they're going back and back, a lot of people get nervous and stressed because they risked money that they couldn't afford to lose. So the single best tip is to start trading with less money, okay? Because clearly if you're stressing that bad, then you are spending too much money at a time. I would recommend to look up a YouTube video, position sizing for day trading, like how much you should risk for each trade. If you don't want to do that, just do 5% of your portfolio, okay? 5%. Now, a lot of people are starting out with just like $100, which would be just $5 starting out. Do $5, okay? Just do $5. Over time, after a month has passed, you're going to either see that you're sort of becoming profitable or you're not. And if you're not becoming profitable, then you would have just lost more money if you tried to start trading with higher amounts immediately. So relax, don't position up so immediately. But just the best tip of advice to this question, any tips for calming nerves? Trade with less money, okay? How many hours a day do you recommend spending on prediction markets? So this depends on what you're doing in life, whether you have a job, okay? This depends on how many positions you are actively in. This depends on what markets you are in. There's a lot of different factors. There's not like, oh, you got to clock in and you got to get 10 hours in of researching today or else you're not going to make money. No, it changes every day, okay? It really does. But how many hours do you recommend? I mean, the more the better, okay? If you have someone who's doing prediction market trading as a hobby and they are doing this, like 10 minutes out of their day, if you're spending 5 hours researching, you're going to be better than them. You're going to have a knowledge edge. And speaking of edge types, I recorded a full video on the best ways to get an edge on Polymarket. It's on my YouTube. Go look at that. But I don't have an answer for this. Why is there a wait list for the Polymarket app? It's because Polymarket's technically not fully out in the United States yet. Don't use the app. Use the website. And use this link in the Discord. Okay, Polymarket. Bang. I'm not, like, they don't pay me, so use Kalshi. I don't care, whatever. Anyone has any idea about the Polymarket airdrop? This is a good question. I didn't see this one. This is good. So Polymarket I'm pretty sure they confirmed that they're going to have an airdrop. And apparently this airdrop is going to be like the biggest airdrop ever. Like, because Polymarket's company is valued in the billions of dollars, and the Polymarket airdrop will make people a lot of money. So it depends on your wallet and how much profit you have, how much volume you've traded. There's not specifics yet, but eventually when they come out with an airdrop, should be a lot of money. And you have people already right now who are just farming volume, assuming that's a big factor for the airdrop, and there could be millionaires just from the airdrop. It should be pretty crazy. Last question. You guys think nothing ever happens or no strategy is good? Yes. I do think this is a decent strategy. Nothing ever happens. A lot of people, something happens like, oh my gosh, Trump's going to invade Greenland. He's taking Greenland right now, because they react to the news. But at the end of the day, nothing ever happens. Occasionally stuff will happen, but for the most part, nothing ever happens. And as long as you go by the blueprint that nothing ever happens, and once in a while you'll have outliers where something does happen, then you will be profitable. Rather than assuming stuff always happens and then nothing ever happens. And then you don't want your outliers to be your wins. You want your outliers to be your losses. So let me give you an example of someone who places trades on just no. Okay, look at this user right here. Let me move my cam. He's up $500,000. Okay, he's up $500,000 in a year. Okay, he's up 30 grand this month. Okay, whatever, right? This guy's general strategy is nothing ever happens. Occasionally, as I said, there's outliers like the Fed interest rate. Clearly, he's a lot more confident in. He bought yes, but for the most part, this user buys nothing ever happens. No, 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 no. Okay, let's look at his closed. So he buys a lot of the Fed interest rates, but in terms of the politics ones, this user, for the most part, has a strategy where nothing ever happens. Occasionally, they'll buy yes. Okay. Now, you don't want to blindly just click no on every market. No, no, no. That's not a good way to make money. That's not a good strategy. So this user, while they are mainly doing nothing ever happens, they also occasionally buy yes, depending on the market. Okay. That's what your strategy should be. It should be ever changing, and it should depend on the market, and it should depend on the conditions. Okay. But yeah, hopefully that video was helpful answering some of the questions. If you have any questions, just feel free to just at me in the Discord. I'll try and be helpful. I'm also trying to get a video out every week. It is hard though, because I'm a busy guy. You know, I'm a busy guy. I don't make no money from making these videos. So, but yeah, hopefully this video was helpful. Subscribe, join the Discord in the description. Adios.